Hey, Commanders fans, tune in because we have some very important information coming, and you need to know everything about it. Here on the channel, you'll find all the latest news about our team, with breaking news and everything a true Commanders fan needs to know. So, first of all, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because here you'll receive everything firsthand and never be out of date. Oh, and leave your like right now to strengthen this incredible community and show that Commanders fans are always there. Without further ado, hold on tight, because today's news is unmissable. Now, let's get straight to the point. Washington Commanders could seek trade for Jaguars WR to boost offense. The Washington Commanders have made strengthening their wide receiver group a priority this offseason, giving their new quarterback more options. While tempo could strengthen the position through the draft, especially with the number 29 overall pick, the team could also opt to take a more aggressive approach in the trade market. Bleacher Report's Alex Ballentine has named Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Christian Kirk as a possible target for the Commanders. The potential trade would bring in an experienced and versatile receiver to complement the team's offense. Christian Kirk, a strategic reinforcement for Washington? Dubbed Captain Kirk by some fans, Christian Kirk could be a valuable piece to help the rookie quarterback develop. Ballentine highlights Jayden Daniels' positive impact on the franchise and how tempo should look for ways to surround him with as much talent as possible. The Commanders are a prime example of how a rookie quarterback can change the course of a franchise. Jayden Daniels has brought a fresh perspective to the team, and now they have the resources to really help him this offseason, Ballentine wrote. Washington will be an attractive destination for any receiver on the market. At the very least, they could target a veteran player like Christian Kirk, who is expected to be able to take on multiple roles in the offense. Kirk's status and potential trade cost. The 28-year-old Kirk had his 2023 season cut short by a broken collarbone in Week 8, playing in just 8 games for the Jaguars before the injury. Despite that, he is expected to be fully recovered for the start of next season, making him a viable target for Washington. One factor that could make this trade even more attractive is the impact the injury has on his market value. The Commanders got the player for a reduced price, taking advantage of the uncertainty about his return to full performance. If healthy, Kirk would bring speed, reliability, and experience to the Washington Commanders' receiving core, helping transform the offense and providing more options for the franchise quarterback. Respected Insider puts Commanders on shortlist for Cooper Kupp offseason trade. The Cooper Kupp rumor mill is buzzing right now. The Washington Commanders will leave no stone unturned in their quest to build a sensational start to General Manager Adam Peters' exciting rebuild. Nothing is off the table, including another aggressive trade for an immediate difference-maker. Senior source raises speculation linking Commanders to Cooper Kupp. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler touted the Commanders as a potential landing spot for Kupp. He thought the Eastern Washington product could be the perfect complement to McLaurin in the passing game. He also believes the Rams would be willing to take on some of his salary to get a better draft pick in return. The executives I've spoken to believe Cooper Kupp will have a market. We may not be talking about a robust market because of his age, declining production, some injuries, and then he's due $20 million next year. $5.5 million of that is guaranteed. As for teams that are being considered, the Pittsburgh Steelers inquired about Kupp last season. They still have a need there. Washington could look to complement Terry McLaurin. The Patriots would be foolish not to at least look at that, given their receiver situation. Jeremy Fowler. The Commanders are ready to win now. The Super Bowl window is wide open after reaching the NFC Championship game and quarterback Jayden Daniels' phenomenal rookie campaign. Getting complacent is not an option, so fans should expect Peters to be more aggressive with the vast resources at his disposal. Kupp would be an excellent addition. It doesn't come without risk, so a lot will depend on the compensation involved. If he has a clear run of luck on the health front, his hypothetical partnership with McLaurin is a mouth-watering proposition. There are other avenues the Commanders could pursue. They'll be scrutinizing potential free agent acquisitions closely, though names like T. Higgins and Chris Godwin won't come cheap. There's also the 2025 NFL draft class to evaluate, but it'll be a waiting game for Washington at number 29 overall. Peters has a long-term vision for the franchise. He wants sustained growth and will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. However, he's also willing to trade, in or out, as demonstrated by his bold acquisition of cornerback Marshawn Lattimore before the 2024 deadline. Washington's primary focus should be Garrett. If that seems like a non-starter for whatever reason, giving up a mid-level draft pick for Kupp wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Time will tell. Washington Commanders linked to DK Metcalf in possible offseason trade. The Washington Commanders are looking to the trade market to bolster their receiving core and offer potential rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels another high-level piece for their offense. The team wants to form an explosive duo alongside Terry McLaurin, making the passing game even more dynamic and threatening to opposing defenses. Given this scenario, the Commanders could take an aggressive approach to acquiring an elite receiver this offseason. According to Alex Ballentine of Bleacher Report, one of the most interesting options would be a trade to bring DK Metcalf to the United States Capitol. The suggested proposal would involve the Commanders giving up the 29th overall pick in the 2024 draft in exchange for the Seattle Seahawks star wide receiver. DK Metcalf to the Commanders? A realistic possibility. Ballentine points out that the Commanders are in a unique position, having a talented rookie quarterback about to start his rookie contract. This opens up a valuable window to build a competitive roster without the salary cap constraints that often impact teams with veteran quarterbacks on multi-million-dollar contracts. The Commanders are in the most enviable sweet spot, with a dominant rookie quarterback starting his rookie contract now. While they appear to be set up for the long-term future, that window may be shorter than one might think. Washington could make the most of this opportunity by aggressively trading for DK Metcalf, Ballentine wrote. In addition, the journalist points out that the Seahawks' financial situation could facilitate a deal. Seattle is struggling with the salary cap, and with the need to manage resources to keep other talent on the roster, Metcalf could end up being the sacrificed piece. Metcalf's impact on the Commanders. If the trade goes through, the Commanders would have one of the best receiving duos in the NFL. The combination of Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf would give Jayden Daniels two elite targets, making the team's offense much more dangerous and versatile. Last season, Metcalf recorded 66 receptions for 992 yards and 5 touchdowns, remaining a constant threat to opposing defenses. However, his role in the Seahawks offense has changed with the emergence of young wide receiver Jaxon Smith-Njigba, who has played an increasingly important role in Seattle. This transition could be one of the factors that prompts the franchise to consider a trade. For the Commanders, acquiring Metcalf would represent a significant step towards competitiveness in the NFC. With a young and talented roster, the franchise is increasingly close to becoming a legitimate Super Bowl contender. A bold move like this could be the difference needed to transform Washington into a dominant force in the league. NFL analyst proposes blockbuster trade by Commanders to secure Garrett Wilson from Jets. The Washington Commanders could be aggressive in the trade market this offseason for a wide receiver. One of the top wideouts that could be available is New York Jets star Garrett Wilson, who is frustrated with his current situation. Bleacher Report writer Gary Davenport suggests the Commanders could trade a first-round pick along with a sixth-rounder for Wilson. Garrett Wilson to the Commanders? An extension for Wilson would undoubtedly be part of the equation here, but the Commanders have more salary cap space than any team in the NFC, $86.7 million. Washington just fell one game short of the Super Bowl and has star quarterback Jayden Daniels on a rookie contract. The time to win is now, Davenport writes. It would be worth giving up the 29th overall pick to gain a proven wide receiver who, along with former college teammate Terry McLaurin, would give the Commanders one of the best 1-2 punches at wideout in the league. Wilson caught 101 passes for 1,104 yards and 7 touchdowns last season for the Jets. He has 1 year remaining on his contract before a team option kicks in next year. But if he's showing reluctance to sign a long-term deal, it might be in the Jets' best interest to trade him to a team like the Commanders, who would be happy to pair him with McLaurin.